1790, then MACUSA President Emily Rappaport enacted this law in response to a major breach of the International Statute of Secrecy, when one Dorcus Twelvetrees, who, while was noted as being quite beautiful, was unfortunately quite naive. She was interested in a No-Maj man who was the descendant of a scorer who is a witch hunter. She revealed the locations of both Ilvermorny and MACUSA headquarters. Unfortunately, he didn't share her feelings. So, he stole her wand and MACUSA responded swiftly and harshly. The Obliviators had a field day, and Dorcus was thrown in prison for this. Rappaport's law made it illegal for wizards and witches to befriend No-Maj, and they certainly couldn't marry them either. Another circumstance that was a side effect is that MACUSA became very strict about wands. A young wizard going to Ilvermorny could not get their wand until they went to Ilvermorny. Not only that, but students couldn't even take their wands home with them during holiday break. No practicing magic over the summer, I guess. All American wizards and witches would also have to hold a wand permit at all times. Also, any wizards visiting from abroad were expected to get a wand permit before visiting. We also see the law get in the way of Queenie Goldstein, who falls in love with the No-Maj Jacob Kowalski almost immediately. Someone tells Jacob that they can't legally get married, so he tries to persuade Queenie that nothing is worth getting her into trouble on his account, and despite loving her back, refuses to marry her, leading Queenie to use an entrancement charm that Newt immediately sees through. This desire to be with Jacob freely and openly leads her to join Grindelwald, not because she is evil, but because she gets manipulated by Grindelwald as he promises that under him, the wizarding world will no longer hide from the No-Maj. However, Grindelwald never tells her that he actually plans to rule over the No-Maj and likely kill them all. It's never stated in the films, but the fact that Queenie, a skilled legilimens, is able to read any mind, but can't read Grindelwald's mind and see the truth, means that Grindelwald is a master of occlumency. It's truly sad, and we see that this wears down Queenie's soul. She only joined out of love, and it became clear that she was stuck on the wrong side of the war and could do nothing about it. All because of the Rappaport law, Grindelwald gained a powerful asset, a skilled legilimens. Eventually, she turned her back on Grindelwald and returned to Jacob, and has to watch in horror as Grindelwald tortures Jacob with the Cruciatus curse. Later they marry in secret to get around the law, and presumably, while very cheesy, they get there happily ever after. Something we don't know is how No-Maj-borns, children of No-Maj who could produce magic, would be handled under the law. It's never stated in canon, but if you think about it, this could mean that they just were never told they were magical, and never got to go to Ilvermorny, as telling these children about Ilvermorny in front of their No-Maj parents would be a violation of the law. While not confirmed in canon, it raises troubling questions about magical children growing up without guidance or education, essentially losing their heritage. Imagine being magical in America during this time, but never being told, never getting a wand, never stepping foot in Ilvermorny. Entire generations could have been erased from wizarding culture. Salazar Slytherin finally wins and has a hand in starting a school that didn't allow Muggle-borns for a time, as the Salt Sire was his descendant, and she used Slytherin's wand. In 1965, the law would be abolished, and wizards and witches could legally befriend and marry No-Maj. This law being abolished in 65 seems to be a potential mirror of the real-life civil rights movement. Do you think Rappaport's law was a necessary response to a real threat, or a fear-driven overreach that punished generations of innocent witches and wizards? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope to see you again soon. Mischief managed.